A new generation of financially entitled modern women is on the rise.
Women have been placed on such a high pedestal in society that there's just a sense of entitlement and they feel no need to reciprocate anything back to men. It's like the video I reacted to recently with the WNBA, acknowledging the fact that the WNBA is basically a business that makes no profit and it is funded by the NBA. The women were so entitled there wasn't even a degree of gratefulness from the women towards the men to say, well, do you know what, thank you for funding this anyway, thank you for funding me to basically live out my dream, despite the fact I'm not making you any more money. Women are just put on such a high pedestal, and yeah, it's just entitlement.
Let me ask you this, ladies. If a guy meets all your requirements, drives a $100K car, makes $1 million a year, is 6 feet tall, wears all the ice and rocks, and buys you a ridiculously expensive ring, are you now willing to be 100% his wife and do, act, or wear whatever he tells you? You aren't the only ones with expectations, so you have to be prepared for it to go both ways.
This is what you said. You said, what's so special about me? Most women aren't special.
Well, that's like, down to your personal opinion.
No, I'm like, seriously, what do women bring in 2022 that is special?
Nothing.
Do most women have a cookbook? Do most women really know how to cater to a man? No. Are most women virgins on their wedding day? No. So what do most women bring in 2022 that is special?
But why is it all about what we can offer? Why is it always about what we can bring?
Okay,
because
I'm glad you asked, and I'm going to explain to you why. Because that's exactly the same thing that you ask from men. Okay? You guys demand a guy that is 6 feet tall, 6 figure, 6 pack. So when you are making those demands, it's okay for the men to do the same. So if you want to be able to choose, I want this, this, and that, we are also allowed to choose. We want this, this, and that. It's simple as that. Put in the comments if you agree with me or if you just think that I'm spitting nonsense.
Even when men spend half their salary on women through court-ordered payouts, they often see someone else get the goods whilst they get nothing themselves. Men are tired of paying women for nothing and then seeing Chad or Tyrone steal their reward.
How much should a guy spend on a wedding ring?
Well, given that it's a wedding ring, that means we'd have to get to the point of getting married, and I won't even entertain a guy if he doesn't drive at least a $300,000 car. Not to mention, if we do get to that point, the ring literally has to be someone's mortgage.
Right, yeah. So you want a guy with a lot of money?
Are you f***ing kidding? If it's not Bill Gates, I'm not marrying him.
I guess it's valid.
Baby, this kitty makes more money than Bill Gates, I'll tell you that.
What are you talking about?
Of course we're gold diggers. If you don't have a car, we not linking. Of course we gold diggers. If you ain't spending no cash, you don't get none of this ass. Shake it, baby. Of course we gold diggers. If you not wearing no ice, you don't look nice. Of course we gold diggers. I like designer, not Shein. That's my girl. Yep. Of course we gold diggers. All we care about is money. Yes, baby. Of course we gold diggers. If you don't make more than 8 figures, what do you make? Yes, yes.
The fact that women feel entitled might be understandable from some aspects, but the fact that they feel too entitled, which means they feel entitled just because that's how it is the topic of discussion and debate here. And it is even more so because society has jumped on the woke feminist bandwagon that calls for equality in every aspect of life, and yet still continues to support women to feel entitled to everything a man does, earns, and produces is just perplexing, to say the least.
A few months ago, I took my parents to court for having me without my permission, and I won, so the court ordered them to give me $5,000 a month to cover my basic living expenses. Well, they went and had that appealed. So now they don't have to give me any money, and I have to go get a job. And I'm realizing, like, I don't have any work experience or any higher education. Nowhere's paying me $5,000 a month. So how the hell am I supposed to be able to afford my bills? Like, what? Don't have children if you don't want to support them.
I hope that women realize the hypocrisy with which they live, expecting everything to be taken care of on one hand, and then marching the streets with banners for equality on the other. One thing is for sure, though. Manipulation is the primary tool that modern women have and use against men. They've been used to it since their teenage years, and will continue to use it till their last breath. They will try to use your emotions against you in order to fulfill their own wishes Because as we all know, they feel entitled. They will try to manipulate you into buying them gifts, into being okay with them seeing other people, into moving closer to where they work, and into believing in whatever they want you to believe.
Serious question. Would you let a guy take you to a chain restaurant, like to Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Applebee's on the first date? Because I wouldn't. Like, I will just never reply back to you because...
There's no end to it, and it frequently succeeds with weak men. They are primarily chasing one thing, and they will put up with abuse solely for the sake of that one thing, which we all know. Thus, they fall for the manipulative tactics of women, both intentionally and unknowingly. Therefore, it is best for males to keep their distance from such women who you are aware will exploit and manipulate you to fulfill the expectations that they feel entitled to.
Besties, there's 6 billion men in the world and you're telling me you're choosing one that makes you pay rent?
Let's cut the cap, shall we? There are 6 billion people in the world, most of whom don't live in first world conditions. 5% of people make over 6 figures in America, and low 6 figures is no longer bougie money. Of said 5%, how many are men? How many are over 6 feet tall? How many are single? How many are under 40? And how many want committed relationships? Exactly.
This woman doesn't understand that there is more of her than the high-value man she's looking for. And she's giving bad advice to other women just because she got lucky with a high-value man that might leave her for another woman. And then she can do nothing about it because the man here is the one who has the ball, not her. I still don't know why these modern women give bad advice.
When a guy and a girl see each other and like what they see, it's the man who's supposed to approach the woman. The man is supposed to think of a way to get her attention, while she plays hard to get it. She expects the man to approach her and expects him to come with compliments, gifts, a boat full of attention, desire, and lust for her. Then, the guy is meant to ask her out on a date. The guy is expected to plan the ideal date, make all the necessary arrangements, book the reservation, and then make sure he has a comfortable vehicle to pick her up and chauffeur her around. The man is then expected to cover the cost of the date. The man is responsible for covering the cost of the beverages, presents, and other expenses. He will be viewed as a miserly coward who wants a woman to pay if he dares to ask if she may split the tab. After they've been on the date, it's the guy who's supposed to make the move and give her the first kiss. It's the guy who's supposed to make the move in bed and lead her, while the girl still plays hard to get, and yet expects to be treated like royalty. Men are expected to take the lead, plain and simple. Somewhere along the line, I think everyone must have thought about why women always expect everything to be done by the man. I mean, even in long-term relationships, the guy is supposed to do the tough housework and provide for the entire family. Where did the woke feminist go now? What happened to equality, right? Throughout their lives, men are supposed to do everything for women and literally dedicate their lives to providing for, protecting, and helping women. And you know what? Men do that with honor. They do it proudly because that's in their nature. I'm talking about high-value men, not a simp who starts crying if he gets rejected by a girl. But the question is, why is it that women expect everything from a man, especially when all they can do now is talk about equality, and how men have oppressed them and controlled them? Modern women have indeed become too entitled. I commend you for making one of the best choices you could ever make if you are not considering dating anytime soon. More than anything else, stories about a happy wife and a happy life have ruined men. You can do two things when reality hits you in the face. Either you deal with it or you cry about it. The latter is preferred by men who go their own way, since they don't like to impose their opinions on others, let alone employ social engineering to influence women or other men. Even if a lot of people can't believe that you can make decisions that don't violate anyone's rights since they are so irrational. Try as you might, you can't waste time persuading them of anything. Leave them alone and focus on surrounding yourself with positive influences. Why do I even say this at all? One of the greatest obstacles for contemporary males to overcome to achieve in the world today is social engineering. The system encourages men to be passive and placid, to pay their taxes, and to accept less than they are entitled to. This explains why the body positivity movement is so popular right now. A male who has the same health problems as a woman cannot be featured on the cover of a magazine. In reality, it would be mocked. I won't say that women will accept any male if I know that their nature is hypergamy. I'm not into promoting promiscuity in any manner, even though certain modern women may be promiscuous, and you can simply convince them to come to your place. I genuinely mean it when I say that the system wants you to accept less than you are entitled to, especially in the case of women. Women who don't fit specific criteria, such as having particular outer and inner beauty, specific manners, or even a particular past, are called names. However, it is praised when a woman aspires to date other men. For many years, men have been tricked into believing that women are some sort of reward just for being female. This has been highlighted more than ever before, especially in light of some philosophies that advocate for so-called women's empowerment. Men are becoming increasingly tired of that, and they would rather choose an alternative road than follow unhelpful social norms. I'll talk about a few justifications they use to make you think that women are fantastic in all they do. Men in particular are being led to believe that women with baggage make for ideal romantic partners. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.